hear that? That's the sound of money. You wanna know what the sound of money is? That's it. Ching, 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 ching. Ching, 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 ching. Here we are at the old laundromat. In here, great big garage in the back. Don't run in the dumpster. Noise from the around in the back. It's a little dirty. Now here's one thing I laugh at. This has got to be the funniest thing ever. Now, there's nothing in this dryer, right? But there's 7 minutes left. People come in here and they put too many quarters in, so you know what they do? They go ahead and turn the dryer on like that because, well, I paid for it, so I'm going to run it. So, because normally if you just leave this dryer for a few minutes, what'll happen is this dryer, the time will actually count down its own without running. So there's no sense in running it, but somebody figured they spent their quarter, so it needs to run. Well, I'm sorry, I just shut it off. They just left. So I have to laugh when I see that because it's a quarter, folks. It's a quarter. So, man, what do we got here? We've got all kinds of mess in here. Someone tried to use this thing. Look at this. You know what that's from? That's a gelatin out of somebody's toy. A couple out of orders. That's all working. Change machine's working. 30-pounders all working. Now we got a mess over here. We got, look at this. They fucking eat this stuff? What do these people do? Then somebody left me toilet paper. Usually they steal the toilet paper, so I'm not sure why they left toilet paper. But something. Ugh. Ooh, somebody ran toilet paper. That's toilet paper, is what that is. Look at that. Can you see that in there? That is a wad of toilet paper. Somebody actually washed a wad of toilet paper. Then they dried it. Now this water is from something, so we gotta figure this out. Something in here is leaking. I think it's not this one. That one's out of order. I think it's this one. One thing I call depression era tactics there. Nothing's ever wasted in a laundromat. And what I mean by that is I'll cannibalize a machine that's got many issues and I'll save all the good parts and I'll get other machines running. And that saves you a lot in a laundromat. And that's crucial in a laundromat because some of those parts are just insane what they want for them. Now instead of having 3 top loaders out of the 5 I have in that laundromat, I only have 2 out. Now the 2 I have out, one's got a transmission bearing issue and a seal. The other one's got a seal issue. So I may try to replace the seal, I may not. I know the transmission bearing one for sure. I'm just gonna take that thing and cannibalize all the good parts, the computer, the coin mechanism, some sensors and that, and then I'll just chuck it. It just ain't worth it. I'll even take the motor out of the tub area, but it's just not worth my time to mess with it that much. Transmission's gonna be $300-400. Then I gotta spend time on it. A brand new machine, a brand new top loader, cost me about $975. Top off. Basically, we got two washers. One's got a coin box broke, and this one's got a transmission seal, so it's leaking. The transmission seal, as old as this is, I'll just buy a new washer. They're cheap. But I could take this top and switch it with that other one, so instead of having 3 machines out, I'll just have 2. One trick I got is, if I can, I'll rob parts, make the other ones look good, you know, and just put out an order sign on them. And that way, you know, I'm still making money. People don't think my laundromat's a broke down problem. So we'll rob this top off, and where that camera's sitting, we'll put it over there, fix this coin box. This coin box got broken into, and when they break into them, they usually dent them up so bad, there's no coming back from it. So, gotta take that out. Holy cow, I need a Phillips head. I found it. That was a bloody miracle. I swear I was gonna not find Phillips head now. I gotta take this tube off, and the tube senses the fill level. I don't want to rip it off the bottom, so I'm gonna take it off the top. It'll be a lot easier on me. There she is. Gotta get in here. World of difference. People can see that edge just a little bit, and you know, a little bit of dirt just makes your laundromat look like a dump. It sucks taking this far apart to do this, but I'm already here. I might as well clean it the best I can. You might say to me, Keenan, what is that? It's soap. It's soap after it's collected dust on it. So I'm telling you guys, if you use a laundromat, don't use so much damn soap. You're killing us. More isn't better when it comes to soap. Some of these people gotta be walking around with soap in their clothes. I'll even take a screwdriver like I'm detailing it. You wouldn't believe what a difference this makes. How's it going? When I repair stuff that way, like my kids,
They can learn.
they can just walk right behind and
That's what's up.
yeah. Started doing it a couple of years ago. It made a lot of sense because the repair guys charge a fortune. So a lot of the simple stuff I just show them how to do this way.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Can't beat that. You put your videos on YouTube and stuff?
I do, but I'm not big on it. I mean, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like,
Computer savvy.
no, heck no, hell, I don't even know anything about cameras, to tell you the truth. Half the time I'm shooting the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But no, I started taping it because I was like, my kids and my wife, if I ever passed away,
That's what's up.
they'd be like, well, how do you do this? Well, at least you give them some information so then they're not getting screwed.
Yeah.
You know, because some of these companies will come in and tell you, oh no, this is what it is.
Yeah. Most definitely, dude. That's what companies do. Got out, weed each other, but
Yeah.
that's smart thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you had to like verify you or
No,
some shit like that.
they're not that big of slave drivers. But it's more just to know how to do it.
Right, yeah. There's a lot of crap in this world that you know how to do.
Like this one I'm stealing. Somebody broke into that one and that's why that coin box wouldn't work. Well, that bottom half is junk. So we'll actually just trash that and buy a new machine.
I just used, I think I was here a week ago, and I just used these two right here.
It had a coin box in it, but you could pull it out. And people figured it out after a while. And what was happening to them is as they were pulling it out, it would half run. So then they get mad because they got their quarters back.
Their clothes were in there. fucked
But
up.
yeah, they you know, so then they were mad about that. 2 meth heads a while back. It's been back when the old dryers were here. 2 meth heads came in and broke into all the dryers. But it was like 3 weeks before the new dryers were getting here, so we didn't really care. And what they did is then they start working on the washers, and they get a crowbar in there and they pry in these boxes. And then what they do is they get it out eventually, but they damage the housing.
Right.
So the coin box can't ever lock again.
Wow.
Yeah. It sucked, but
Ignorant people, man. Ignorant people.
well, we caught them. I mean, they were so dumb. They came in on Wednesdays. No, Mondays and Wednesdays. And we caught them. We actually sat out there with the cops and literally
Waited for
they walked right up, did their routine. Cops were laughing their ass off, busted them.
Good shit.
It was pretty funny. They lived right down the street, but they got on that meth, you know, and he got on drugs, and they were just trying to, just trying to get a fix, you know.
Yeah.
$980. So to me, and I'll get, those machines are 10 years old and they're just now falling apart. And the reason they're falling apart is because people overload top loaders. You know, I was told that you're not actually supposed to put the clothes all the way to the top of the agitator. You're supposed to only fill the clothes to the top of the holes inside the basket. Well, how many people do that? Come on. They stuff that thing full, they hope the door shuts, they get water in it, then they throw some more stuff in it, and then they let it run. Well, it's got twice or 1.5 times what it should have in there. So that's just not how they operate. And they can handle it, but not for very long. So I get about 10 years out of them. So I'll take that one, I'll grab some parts out of it, and then the rest will be junk. We'll chuck it, let the scrap guy have it. The other one that has the seal, I have a tub, the basket tub assembly out of another one that's in good shape. I may stick it in there for now, just to get it by for another year or two, and then chuck it. I may waste the time doing that. I'm kind of a cheap guy, and in a laundromat, you got to be thrifty or you're not going to make money. If you go out and you're constantly buying brand new equipment all the time, and depending what your volume and sales is, you just can't afford that. So it's one thing in these laundromats, if you see people buying equipment all the time, and I've had competition around me, they finance, like I said before, they finance this equipment, and it's great for 6 months, but then it comes time to pay, and they ain't got the money. And one of the real reasons the laundromats fail the most is because it's cash. You're pulling out cash, folks. Every day it's cash. And so it's so easy when that cash is in your hand to go spend it on other toys or to think you're rich. And people, they don't put it back in their business, or they don't put it back for bills. They end up blowing it on stuff. So that's one of the hard lessons of laundromat, car washes. You know, that's why you see them after so many years just kind of crumble, because people haven't kept them up, haven't maintained them. I mean, here it is, 10 o'clock at night. I've worked all day, got up at 5 a.m. I'm working on machines. You know, tomorrow morning I'll get up at 5 a.m. and do the day all over again. Now, I don't work on machines every night, but I got to spend a couple nights. I got to spend a couple nights every month working on machines, or it gets so out of control. Your customers start to notice that. When they notice you don't care about the machines, you're not fixing things, they're dirty, like you saw me detailing that thing, trying to clean it up a little bit more. They notice that. And it's just like anything you guys go to, like a restaurant or a store or anything, you start to notice when it's run down, the carpet's not clean, or the lights aren't working. And people start to shy away from you. They think, wow, this guy doesn't care. And the other coin to that is other side of that coin is people start to tear your stuff up more because, well, he doesn't care, why should I? You know, so you have to keep it clean, you got to keep it nice, and you got to keep it functional. And just the way it is.